Iran is the single biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. So I mean, we say that, Iran is the biggest sponsor of terrorism in the world, but then I want you to consider for a second, what does that mean if we give them hundreds of millions and billions of dollars? If they're the biggest sponsor of terrorism in the world, it means they sponsor more terrorism. We have a madman in Iran. The Ayatollah is insane. The people around him are insane. The homicidal, suicidal maniacs who have killed hundreds of thousands of their own people, who have recently killed young American men and women in Iraq with the Quds Force. There are American mothers and fathers who just recently lost their children to Iranian killers. They have American blood on their hands. And we're going to give them nuclear weapons? I hope we elect someone president of the United States who reverses that agreement. I can't speak for anyone else. I oppose the agreement because I would never ever put nuclear material in the hands of a proven homicidal, theologically motivated maniac. And I consider putting nuclear weapons in the hands of a country that is dedicated to the extermination of the state of Israel, not being a friend of Israel. If someone is threatening to kill me and my family and you give them weapons, I don't think you're my friend. The United States, I also believe, should reject the whole notion of a two-state solution in Israel. Or maybe put better, it should restate it. It should be a two-state solution when the Palestinian Authority demonstrates that it can be a state and not a homeland for terrorism and you sort of get your choice in the Palestinian Authority between terrorists or crooks, one or the other. But what probably went wrong in our policy toward Israel and Palestine, and I can't even trace where this all started. Maybe Dory Gold would understand this better than me and could tell me where it all started. But somehow we kind of worked our way into this moral equivalent between Israel and the Palestinian Authority, and we said, oh, two-state solution, that sounds like, except we didn't take a look at the fact that, well, one really is a state. I mean, like they have laws, and they have courts, and they have rights for people, and they have respect for human life, and they're a civilized society and a culture. The other is made up of two groups. One really much worse than the other, but the other one pretty bad too. Hamas, which is a barbaric terrorist group, and Fatah, which is a totally corrupt, formerly terrorist group that are now a bunch of crooks. And so okay, you can make peace between the two of them, but you can't treat them the same. You can't elevate Arafat to the level of Shamir, or you pick the prime minister of Israel. They're two different people. They're representing two different countries. And if you want to make peace, you have to demand more of the country that has to change itself if it wants to become a state. So let's go beyond Israel, and I'll conclude with this. Of course, it's not in the interest of Israel to have a terrorist state on its border. But I'm going to tell you something. If there was no Israel, it wouldn't be in the interest of the United States to create another state sponsor of terrorism, it would be against our national interest. We have enough state and non-state sponsors of terrorism. We always shared values, and we've always shared blood and relationships and friendships and everything else. But now we really share being in exactly the same boat. So I have to tell you, no matter what's going on between our governments, there has never been a time in my history where the people of the United States, the people in Alabama and Mississippi, and the people in Kentucky and the people in Montana and the people in North Dakota, the places we don't think about, they love Israel because they understand what you're about. Thank you very much.